Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Hello, it's sun today. At least we are relaxing. I never thought that this country can be that hot. Like these days we have been sleeping with the windows open. So today I want to share with you on this one. Relocation is a tiresome process. Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. So I want to talk specifically about its consequences. I told you when we left Lesotho, the few things we had to donate them. Then when we had to leave Eswatini, I remember we had to send this transporter with our properties back home. That was it. We had spent many years in that country, so we had acquired property. You know, when you think like you are going to stay in that country for many years, that's what happened. And someone was saying that if you want to know that this is a home of a Zimbabwean, you know with the property they buy. He was saying that Zimbabweans wants to stay at a good environment, so they will have, furniture, It was someone who was commenting about us Zimbabweans. So that was it. So when you are relocating, especially when you now move from this country to another, this country to another, this country to another, the major challenge we have is of starting afresh. You are like starting afresh, starting from buying spoon, that it will be your life. You are like somebody who builds and then destroy. I'm trying to say, you acquire property, you acquire. After a certain period, then you dispose those things. That is life for us. That is life, and it's challenging. Because sometimes you find that those things you could have bought them at a higher price, maybe they are of good quality, but then a door opens and maybe you have to sell those things. I remember certain couple who were saying, hey, they had quality property, they bought it, it was expensive, but then they had to relocate going overseas from Africa there. They had to sell those properties. And once you are now selling it, people know that you are relocating. So they want to buy it at a lower price. And also the fact that that thing is no longer new, even though it is of good quality and maybe it is looking very new, the fact that you had used it, you will not get the money you really deserve. You will not get it. So you just have to just dispose it. If it's cars, cars, these other things you may say, but if it's cars, you just have to. I remember, we had to just dispose our car when I was now to come to the United Kingdom. I really felt it that this one I have just given them. But that is it. That is it at that moment. So that is the challenge we face. Tinounganidza toputsa. So some of the properties like fridges, TV, those things which are like electrical gadgets, we had to sell. And some of the property went back home. And some of the things like my kitchen things, blankets, what, I had to donate to my relatives, friends. We just donate. I donated once they were there in Zimbabwe. Started saying, this one, take this, give that one. Take this, give that one. So I remember I had also some of even chicken drinkers, feeders, not drinkers, yes, they were drinkers and feeders there. I had to take some, donate, give people. So myself, I think sometimes if we can sell or donate those things, it can be better. But also there is a challenge that you are relocating to another country and you are not sure whether it will be well with you in that country. That's where the problem is. So you find that you end up keeping some of the things. In case you may realize that this country is not doing well for me. We have seen people who had to go back to their mother countries. So imagine if you had sold everything and say, I'm now going to the United Kingdom, I'm now going to Kuwait, so I will not come back. And then you go there, you realize life is tough here, or things do not go well with you. That's why sometimes we are in that position where we don't know whether we should dispose the things or we should keep them like that. It's very challenging. So for me, I donated some of the things. I do not believe in piling things which are not in use. I remember a friend of ours visited us from Johannesburg there. So he was with his family and we were discussing about these things, that now we are going far. What can we do with these properties? And both the husband and the wife were suggesting that don't put your heart on these properties. The things that matter the most are if you have houses or any movable property back home. But otherwise, these movable properties you just have to dispose, because sometimes you leave them and rats can even feast on them. Or sometimes you find that with time, with time, they get outdated, like not in fashion. So you realize that I no longer need them. So for me, sometimes I think, what is better? To keep all things which I know I won't use for 5 years, or I just donate. That's why I donated most of my kitchen things, and some of the things, the blankets, I donate. So anytime, even now, when I think that one I should give that one, I tell them that this one, give that one. My sister was even asking me what we should do with the fridge right now, because we had some we sold which I was using for my business in Eswatini there. But then there was another one in Zimbabwe. So he was asking what she should do with that one, because right now it's only water in 5 liters, which stays in that fridge. So she was asking what she can do with that. I said, I'm thinking. So I don't know when I will go back to Zimbabwe. Buying tickets, you want to settle. We don't know when we will go back with maybe the family. So I don't believe in keeping those things when they are in huge quantities. When I know that maybe when I go to Zimbabwe it will be just a few days and I won't use most of those pots. So that's why I had to give this one, give that one. this one, give that one, this one. When I went back even in November, I was looking for others. This one I give, this one I give, rather than piling them. So I know, yes, sometimes with that attachment of my things. I don't know how many still have their things which they have left. Maybe on that year you have decided to leave Zimbabwe. I remember us, we left Zimbabwe in 2008. Those things we had, I don't know the history about those things. Then you just realize that those things no longer matters. Then Lesotho, then Eswatini, at least Eswatini, I still know there are those things. And even now I'm still thinking, anytime if I think that this one I should give it to somebody, I will just discuss with my husband. If he agrees, we just dispose those things. And what about when we go back? Right now we don't know when we will go back. We will see when that time come. We will see it at that moment. So those are the challenges we face. So I'm talking this so that those ones who have not yet joined us on this journey, you know that you don't have to put your whole heart on these movable properties, because anytime you may end up losing them. I was even thinking that there was a moment where we had cars, but now I don't have a car at the moment. So that is it. And we just had to dispose them also. So if you have that heart that loves property so much, you get into trouble. So for me right now, I no longer have that heart that is so attached to movable property. So we had a friend who visited us from Johannesburg with his wife. That friend was suggesting that like what I said, all these other things, they do not matter when you have thought of relocating to far away countries, like crossing oceans, because you take time to go back to your country. So when are you going to use those things? That's why you find, I have heard many stories of people who asked relatives or friends that keep these things for me because of this fear of where you are going, fear of unknown, and you left your things at someone's place or a relative, and then some were complaining that that relative went now. That relative have 15 years, 10 years in the United Kingdom, but the things are still piling there. Some of the things are now outdated. Some, the rats have, feasted on those things. But you keep on keeping those things. Why keep burdening people with your things? Some of those things we just have to dispose them. If we are to sell, you sell, other than keeping on troubling people. Unless if those things are at your home, at your house, then it's fine. Or at your parents' home and they are okay with it. But if those things are at people's place, unless maybe you are paying rentals for that. If you are not paying rentals, sometimes even if you are paying rental, if they want to use their house, let them use their house. Do something with your things. We understand maybe the first time you arrived that yes, you did not know, but with time you should make a decision. Make a decision. Don't keep on feeling like you are, there are some people but there are times we need to dispose what we have for us to get better ones. So I'm just talking. I also appreciate, like what I've said, that there are also people who have gone to foreign countries but for just a few years, and they have definite plans of relocating back to their country. So for those people, they are putting things in order, so they don't have to what? To sell or dispose those things. But there are people who are young, who maybe have young children, and who really knows that they still have a long way to go, but they still have energy of moving from country to country. So for such people, sometimes, maybe if you want to keep, maybe you are not aware of what is ahead of you, you may keep just a few things, few basic things. But when you find that you have settled, maybe life is becoming better, you can dispose those things. Or if you are to give even the people you left those things with, just to give them. For me, I donated, my things, my stove, I donated, but I still have some. Because I am someone who also frequently visit home. That's my plan. I love being in my mother country. So I know that I use those things sometimes. But there are certain things I am even thinking now that this one, whom am I going to give? This one, whom am I to give? Or this one, should I sell it? Sometimes you realize that selling those things, you may get something, unlike just leaving them, you may end up losing everything. I know, yes, also, if you want to keep your property safe, maybe there is no one who is there, maybe it's at your home, you can put rat poison, and I know some who managed to do that, and their property was still intact. If you know, you have to go back. So for me right now, that's why you saw me when I showed you the things I came with from Africa. It's because I know that each time you relocate, you are starting afresh. So there are certain things I have said, this one I don't want to start afresh, like I did not buy pots here, I did not buy blankets or sheets here, I came with my things from Africa there. But that is life for us. As we move from country to country, we acquire things, then we dispose. That is it. I was looking even here in the United Kingdom that when we are disposing things, even selling them, I don't know if you find buyers who may even buy those things. Even if you can find someone, that thing will be for just small money. So you find that it's more of giving, donating. So you find that you should be someone who is not too attached to movable properties. Anytime you may lose them. That is if you relocate to another country again. So that is life for us. It's challenging. I talked to some of the people who have their things also which are still stocked, and they are far. They think, I say, so what are you going to do with this? Say, we'll come. Hey, I have seen even people where I moved there, talking with people who are complaining, like what I told you, of even children, relatives who have left their things at their homes, and they feel like it's now a burden. Why can't you take your things? Why can't you distribute your things? Let's not trouble people. I'm just talking, because sometimes we are just troubling people with things we may not even end up using. Why can't you just donate? Donate. I'm not saying donate when you are still afresh. No. With time, make a plan. If you cannot donate, sell it. That's it. So that is the challenge we have. So me right now here, because in Eswatini we were given opportunity to at least acquire properties. So right now I have reached a stage whereby I no longer have that heart of if I see something nice, I feel like I need it. I no longer have that heart. Now I just buy something for functionality. If I know that this one I need to use it for this, then I buy. I remember my husband had to remind me so many times that you are a mother. You need to buy things for this kitchen. So he kept on reminding me. Even now he still should continue reminding me, because I have reached that stage of satisfaction that I buy. If you are to visit me, that's when I don't copy me please. But if you are to visit me, if you tell me that you are to visit me, that's when I will go and buy plates. I'm just joking. At least I bought how many plates? I bought how many plates recently? 6. Yeah, I just say, let me just buy these 6 plates. Otherwise, we were surviving just with 3 plates. Cups, we were surviving. We survived. It was nearly a year surviving with 2 cups. One day we added some. So we should not do that. Don't copy me. Don't copy me on that one. So I'm trying to tell you that for me now, I no longer pile things. Even if it's like furniture, if I can have something which is foldable, that's the best for me at the moment. Anytime if another door opens, we grab it and we go. That is me. I am no longer afraid of relocating. If it's God who has opened that door, we can grab it, we can start again. That is life for us. But what matters is having a vision when we are moving, because we move for a better future. What really is it that you want to accomplish? Whatever you feel like this one you need, buy it, use it until you feel satisfied, and then you once you are satisfied, you end up not feeling like that thing you cannot sleep without having it, because you are satisfied. So that's what we face when we relocate. We use money to acquire property, and then we what? When we were relocating from Eswatini, that's when I thought of some of these, like the Indians we were seeing and the Pakistans we were seeing. Some of them, they would not have many properties. They would just have those things for them to function, and then I think for them they will be knowing how long they will take in a country. When the time comes for them to move, they move. But that one also, it works if you know how long you take in a country. For some of us, we don't know how long. Like right now, I don't know how long are we going to stay in this country. So it becomes difficult for some other plans. So we plan as we go. So those are the situations where you find that you end up, you start small, buying this today, later you realize the house is full. But personally at the moment, I prefer even staying in furnished houses. Reason being, if I want to move anytime, I can move. And then whatever I can take, which I can take, and we go with it, I go. Because we don't have plans of like taking our properties when we are going back home, putting it in container to Zimbabwe. We don't have those plans, and we don't even have those plans of going back to Zimbabwe soon. I think I had a video when I was talking about that. So because of that, when it comes to property, I am someone who is at any given moment ready to dispose whatever I have at any given moment. So that's life for us. yeah, it is challenging, but I know ndo kutooma kwazvo ikoko. That friend said what matters is just if you have immovable properties. Otherwise, these movable properties, if you are someone who move like the way we had moved, for us it's just 3 Zimbabwe, Lesotho, who is this one, Eswatini, this one. But just know that if you move, you end up that appetite or chidaka che property chinopera. For me, chakapera chidaka che property chakapera for me. Andina chandinonzwa kunyatsoti chakati. But for those ones who feel like whatever you feel like you want to enjoy, buy it. Plus, you know your plans. You know if you are in that country, you are there. If you are, so we are just different. And that's what I wanted to share with you for today. That you start afresh. I remember our friend, when we were here, he was advising us that for now, stay there. I think it's time for you not to keep on moving, because moving is not easy. Relocating is not easy. It's even tiresome and stressful. It's not good, especially as you keep on getting old. It's not good even for our bodies. It's best if you do it when we do it frequent, like when at that moment where you are still young. But there come a moment where you feel that right now I should not move like the way I was moving when maybe I had one child or I was a youth. So those are the challenges. But what we should always remember is this movement should be for a better future. So thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye. See you next time. Chitra chiri murutsoka. Goodbye.